Stop treating AUT like it's YBA. Sorry, let me just put that out there real quick. Because the sooner you stop treating this game like it's YBA, the sooner you might actually have some fun with it. And that's just because I went into it thinking it was like YBA, but as soon as I stopped playing it and thinking it was like YBA, I had a lot more fun. So, if you come in here and say YBA is better, it doesn't even play anything like YBA besides the fact that it has stands that have moves. So the bare minimum of JoJo. So that's the only thing different. If you've seen Eclipse's video on World of Stands where he went into it thinking it was like YBA, but when he came back to it and stopped treating it like YBA, he had fun. Think of it like that. It's not anything like YBA. It is not a PvP centric game. It has PvP, but it is not the main focus. The main focus is collection of abilities and then using them on PvE events like the new raid or just whatever you want to use them on, bosses and etc. All right, so let's get to the review. So I'll put this video into 4 sections: gameplay/visuals, the main loop, endgame, and then final thoughts. I just think you should go in order of this because it kind of goes in chronological order. So let's start off with the first section, gameplay/visual. So let's start with gameplay because that's more important than visuals, to be completely honest. So the main thing you're going to be doing is running around, leveling up your stands, gathering items, using those items on quests to gather more abilities/stands. Doesn't have to be stands. This game isn't fully JoJo, which I know a lot of people complain about, but personally, I don't care if a game's fully JoJo. I kind of like having a little bit of everything. I just like variety, so it's fine for me, but hey, if you don't want to play it because it's not just JoJo, hey, that's on you. That's on you, not me. So you level up these stands, get trait hands, choose traits, level up moves. Like, you just go around going through all the areas, collecting items via killing enemies or just them being on the ground. And then you just do that and get quests. This game's more of like a collectathon. It's not really super hard to collect things. It does take a little bit of time, but it's really not that hard. I did mostly everything in around 1 to 2 days, besides the shadow quest, which is just not worth doing because, first of all, it's just not worth doing, and second, that the fight with him is near impossible by yourself, or it's mostly a battle of attrition. And nope. Like look at this footage. What am I supposed to do in this fight? Nothing. I can't do much. There's nothing I can really do in this fight. This game sometimes has not the greatest of balancing when it comes to bosses. If they're like 5,000 health, maybe 10,000, it's not too bad. Anything more than that, it just gets really bad because you only have around like 500 health on base, and their moves can like do like 250, like with 2. So it's really easy to die to those bosses, and you can't really stun lock a lot of them. It's just like, yeah, a lot of bosses. Some bosses are balanced, some of them are not. A lot of the newer bosses aren't balanced, but a lot of the old ones are, so take that as you will. But yeah, that's the main loop. Go around collecting stands, abilities, leveling up, get items, do quests, etc. Section 2, the real gameplay loop. When I mean the real gameplay loop, this is most likely what you're going to be doing. So the fastest way to level stands is via the black market. Also, the fastest way to make money to roll for stuff is also the black market. So you're going to go around killing as many things as you can to get as many items as you can. And then you're going to go to either one of the 4 black market locations. There'll always be one of there, as long as it says black market has spawned. As long as you're in like a public server, you'll most likely be in one of these 4 locations at all times. But if you make a private server, you'll have to wait 30 minutes. So I just recommend playing in a public for the fastest. So gather as many items, sell as many items, make sure to keep any that you need for quest or for whatever reasons. And then you can sell those and go buy the rolling thing. A lot of people like to say AUT is gambling simulator, which I agree, but you can gamble for pretty much free if you do this method, and it's what most players do anyways. It's 100% free. If you do it like this, you don't have to spend a single Robux, because I didn't. And I got like a bunch of weird stuff like World Over Heaven, Made in Heaven, some of the fruits, but I found one of the fruits. I also got one from the raid, which we'll talk about the endgame later. So you can pretty much get everything for free with the black market, because the black market is your main source of rolling as a free player. Maybe just in general, it's just really effective to just get the money via items instead of buying it. It's just not even a good conversion rate. Just laziness if you do it like that. But yeah, that's the real gameplay loop. Find one of the black markets, have a bunch of items, sell it, re-roll, and then whatever shard you don't use, you sell back to him to get XP for your stand. And then repeat. It's a pretty simple loop. There's also the game modes, which are shut down as of right now. I don't know why, but they're like another good way to level, and they're a fun way to test stuff out too. But as of right now, they're not in the game. I couldn't tell you why. They were last time I played, or when I was making these videos. It's not anymore. If anyone could tell me why, tell me in the comment section below. Section 3, Endgame. So the endgame consists of you doing quests mostly and fighting bosses of some kind. So I'll use the shadow quest as an example because that is the only quest I recommend never doing in this game. It is not worth it. Not the quest, nor getting the spec, not fighting the boss for the spec either. Just don't do that quest. It's not worth it. Sure, you can go, I am atomic, but it's not that. It's not worth it. It's not even worth it. But you'll be doing quests, so like the Maiden Heaven quest, the Sea Moon quest, the World Over Heaven quest. There's a bunch of quests. They all have different requirements. There's a Kilo quest. They're just a bunch of quests. You're mostly doing questing as an endgame. And if you're not doing questing, you're fighting bosses. And if you're not doing bosses, you're probably fighting the raid boss, which have a 75% drop chance for a fruit and a bunch of other rare stuff. So they're definitely worth doing. They're hard. They're hard. Some of the bosses do a little too much damage, but it's fine because you can just infinitely respawn, so it's not too bad. It's just more of a battle of attrition. But that's mostly the end game for the rare stuff. Most of it either be doing a quest or some sort of boss. Yeah. So what are my final thoughts? My final thoughts are this game looks amazing visually, animation-wise, gameplay-wise. It's pretty much plays just like YBA, but it's nothing like YBA in terms of anything else besides maybe a tad of the gameplay. But it's just any JoJo game kind of uses this kind of gameplay. World of Stands doesn't play like YBA, but it uses something similar. So it's just kind of like that. It's not like YBA, but it uses some systems from YBA, just like World of Stands. But as soon as you stop thinking of it like it's YBA, the more fun you'll have, because this is not a PvP-centric game. Sure, it has PvP, but it is not the main focus, like YBA. So, yeah, just try not to think of it like YBA, and you'll probably have a good time. And it's probably way better looking than YBA too in some points. Sure, there's some cutscenes in YBA that absolutely slam it, but there's just a lot more in this game, and there's a lot more moves per stand, but there's no specs or anything, so all your abilities come from your, well, spec, I guess. So you have a lot of moves though, so it doesn't really matter. It's good fun. It is some good fun for like a couple days. Sure, it can be like a skin trader like YBA, but if you just play it like, well, just collecting the stands and you don't really care about skins, you'll have a good time. It's good with some friends. Nothing wrong with it. I give it like a 7 out of 10 on this platform. There's not a lot of good games right now. This is a pretty good game for what it is. It's just a collectathon. I enjoy a good collectathon once in a while. So, yeah, that's my final thoughts. Like and subscribe, Hazels and Zits.